In the name of Allah, the most compassionate and most merciful, respected student, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm glad to be here once again for delivering the lecture number 16 of the subjects of business ethics. I am conveying my greetings, best wishes, wishing you that everyone is fine and healthy along with your daily life's activities. It is a honor to be here once again for providing the services to the students who have been stuck at home due to the lockdowns and due to these crucial times. We are in your service to provide you every sort of facility just to make it sure that the time running is effective, and students get the benefit from our lectures, online lectures at home, and they are passing with a great they're passing their life with a great ambitions and great moments of their lives. So today we're discussing about the air pollution, as we talked in the previous class regarding the air pollution, that what air pollution itself it is, and now we're talking about different sources of air pollutions. The منګو تاسو د هوا او آلودګۍ مختلفو سرچینو منابع باندې بحث کوو چې هوا د کومو منابعو د کومو سرچینو څخه آلوده کیږي. امروز ما در مورد منبع آلوده شده یا کثیف بودن هوا که هوا چطور آلوده می شود، از منبعشون چی است. یک از منابع آلودگی هوا که هستند ترانسپورتیشن کامبشن سورس هستند. از طریق موترها و موتر خرد و کلان، یعنی از طریق ترانسپورت، موترهای باربری و موترهای مسافری و موترهای دیگری باعثی می شود که هوا را کثیف بسازد. So there are many different types of transportation sources which are mostly a source of pollution. بسیاری از انواع مختلف منابع ترانسپورتی ما داریم که باعث آلودگی هوا می شود. طبعا اگر ما به خاطر این که از موترها استفاده میکنیم، به خاطر فعالیت‌های اقتصادی خود را و یک اندازه فایده اقتصادی و به یک هدف مثبت خود میرسانیم، فایده میکنیم، بیزنس میکنیم در پالیش، از نظر اخلاقی محیط زیست باید این هم در نظر بگیریم که در جریان تجارت، در جریان فعالیت‌های اقتصادی خود ما هیچ نه حیوان و نبات و خزنده و زمین و هوا و آب ما کثیف نشود. این یک از مسئولیت‌های ما هستند. به این خاطر ما من حیث یک تجار باید این را در نظر بگیریم که اگر مفاد به خود ما میکنیم، ضرر به دیگران رسانیم. So there are different transportation sources. For example, motor vehicles are a very significant source of pollutions. It produces pollutants including carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and oxides of nitrogen, lead particulates, and small amount of sulfur oxides. So this motor vehicle itself produces many pollutants that I just mentioned here, so that cause the air pollutions. Motor vehicle exhaust account for 40% of all hydrocarbon air pollutants and 90% of nitrogen oxide. So how much it is playing a role in the polluting the environment. So 40 to 90% of nitrogen oxide and 40% of other hydrocarbon air that is being poured into the air, and the air become polluted. So it's a huge amount in percentage of the carbon dioxide, hydrocarbon, and as well as nitrogen oxide. So this is what we are talking about, that transportation is one of the main cause of air pollutions. Where there is more transportations, where the cities are more congested, so they might be producing, that city might be producing more carbon dioxides, hydrocarbons, and as well as nitrogen oxide. So these will be in a huge amount will be produced from the motor vehicles, and that is polluting the air, in the same air we are breathing, and that is affecting our health. So beside this, we have stationary industrial sources as well. So these are varied and many in numbers. Some of the more important source includes furnaces, boilers, oven and dryers, process system which produce volatile chemical gases. So from industrial sources, from stationary or industrial sources, the air pollution or the air pollutants or itself the pollutants are produced and they are emitted into the airs and cause the air pollution that most of the industries sources, like using their furnaces for making their economic profits, and as well as boilers are being used, oven and dryers are being used, and some other volatile chemicals like gases and etc. are being used for the economic activity, economic purposes. So at the same time it is polluting the airs. While we do have another source of the air pollution, that is called fugitive or other sources. Fugitive or itself fugitive emissions are the emission of gases or vapors from pressurized equipment due to leaks and other unintended or irregular release of gases, mostly from industrial activity. So often fugitive emissions are the result of poor maintenance of plants and equipments, and at the same time emission of volatile organic compounds such as benzene from oil refinery pose a long-term health risk to workers and local communities. So this is the other sort of the air pollution that causes pollutants in the air and causing air pollutions that the same air is being breathed by the local peoples or publics. So then the major health risk will take place because of these air pollutions. So these emission of volatile organic compounds are, like for example, as I said, for example benzenes, which is mostly that is being used in oil refinery for the long term if it is being used. So and if you do not look at to the environmental hazards, do not check the environmental hazard policy, definitely in the long terms the workers in the community will be affected from these sort of emissions of volatile organic compounds as benzenes and other oil refinery gas. At the same time, so it is very important that we have to look at those things which are very much important and which are being used for many reasons in order to keep the environment. We have to keep this in mind, that such things should not be utilized, that is devastating, that is destroying and make disturbance for the environment. At the same time, for example, carbon monoxide is one of the source of the air pollutions. Carbon monoxide is one of the most serious air pollutants. It is the most serious air pollutant. It is colorless and odorless gas and highly poisonous to human health. خوری کاربن مونوکساید بسیار به انسان خطرناکترین مضرترین ایر پلوتنت هستند که به صحت انسان، به صحت انسانی یک صدمه بسیار عظیمی را میرسانند. میگم که خوری کاربن مونوکساید منابعش چی هستند، از کجا میتونیم ما این را به دست بیاریم یا به دست میآید. It is produced as a result of incomplete combustion carbon. It is mainly released into the air by automobile exhaust, and there is no such a machine with 100% efficiency. And it is also produced by the photodissociation of carbon dioxide by ultraviolet lights in the tropospheres. So these are the main source of the carbon monoxide, that it is being produced in these main sources then are responsible for the transmission of this carbon monoxide gases and chemicals into the humans, and humans is breathing this, and that is causing a long-term health effect for the individual and groups in the societies. So for that reason we have to be careful about this issue as well. Impacts of the carbon dioxide itself, the carbon monoxide. The impacts or effects of the carbon monoxide is what? Carbon monoxide binds to hemoglobin to form a carbon oxyhemoglobin, which is about 3000 times more stable than oxygen hemoglobin compound. In blood, when the concentration of carbon oxyhemoglobin reaches about 3 to 4%, the oxygen carrying capacity of blood is greatly reduced. So how much does it affect? This deficiency results into headache, weak eyesight and nervousness. Now, this is the impacts of this carbon monoxide if it has been taken in a less amount, and it's due to which the blood supply become less and the blood supply become reduced to the target organ. So it may cause some health problems and health issues like headaches and weak eyesight and nervousness. So that is why we have to be very careful about the production as well as the discharge of the carbon monoxide in a publics or in an area where there is very limited people have been living there, almost into the closed area. The same is we have the sulfur oxide is another chemicals that is being produced, and it's causing a major environmental health impacts. Sulfur dioxide is a primary pollutant. It is colorless and sharp irritating odor. It contributes 18% of air pollution quantitatively. It is the second largest air pollutants. تقریبا 18% در آلودگی هوا سلفر دایاکساید است که رول دارد که دومین آلودگی هوا به نام خود سلفر دایاکساید است که هوا را کثیف می‌کند. It is estimated that 65 million tons of sulfur dioxide per year enter into atmosphere as a result of man's activities. In wheat condition, the sulfur dioxide is converted into H2SO4, which is the chemical that is being presented in the air. Then the same thing, sulfur dioxide is being breathed by the people in the local area, so that causes many problems. Then when in dry condition, it results from oxygen to form itself the sulfur oxide. So this is sulfur oxide is causing major environmental health as well, that is causing the health of individual as well as in the societies. So source and impacts of this sulfur oxide. Sulfur oxide is emitted from natural as well as anthropogenic resources. Natural sources, for example, geothermal emissions, volcanoes, some bacterial activities, and at the same time anthropogenic resources, like for example burning of fossil fuels, coal, oil, gas, etc., metal extractions. So these are all those anthropogenic sources. Impacts. What are the impact of sulfur dioxide? It causes respiratory problem, causes upper respiratory problem, asthma. خپل سلفر ډای اکساید د دې تاثیرات چې دی په بدن باندې انسان ته نفس تنګي پیدا کوي، د انسان تنفسي سیستم مختل کوي، مشکل سره مواجه کوي. It can also cause allergic types of reactions. همدارنګه د حساسیت په شکل سره لکه انسانانو کې حساسیت مشکلات پیدا کوي. It increase the existing respiratory and heart problem. همدارنګه تنفسي او قلبي مشکلات پیدا کوي د دینه. نو ګوري دا موږ سره د دې سلفر اوکساید هغه جانبي عوارض دي، هغه مشکلات دي پیښوي انسانانو ته. نو باید موږ تاسو څومره صحتمند اوسئ، که چېرته موږ تاسو صحتمند یو طبعا زموږ محیط به صحتمند دی. که موږ تاسو صحتمند نه اوسو نو موږ محیط به صحتمند دی، نو طبعا موږ بیا ډېر مصارف ورکوو د لاسه څه به لاسته نه راځي. همدارنګه موږ سره nitrogen oxide the oxides of nitrogen present in the atmosphere in the form of NO, NO2 and N2O, etc. Nitrogen oxide is relatively less significant. However, nitric oxide and nitrogen dioxide are very much important in the air. So in wet condition, nitrogen oxide is converted into NH3 by reacting with water. At the same time, while in dry condition, it reacts with oxygen to form the same nitrogen oxide or nitrogen oxide. So nitrogen oxide is another source of pollutants, air pollutants, that is causing a major push in the societies and causing major pollutions in the society. So that is another types of air pollutant. At the same time, the source of nitrogen oxides and its impact on the human body, what is its natural sources, mean from where we can get as kujamitanim biramabaduspirim, volcano and lighting, bacterial decomposition. At the same time, anthropogenic sources can also is helpful for the management of the nitrogen oxide. If it is not properly managed, so definitely it causes so many problem impacts on humans. So also automobile exhaust and stationary sources, burning of fossil fuels. And what are the impacts of these nitrogen oxides over the body? It irritates lungs, aggravate asthma, it increase the problem of nafstangi, mushkil पैदा भी हमदारंगा زمانو تاسو پسګو یا ششونو کې هم یو نو irritation یا حساسیت پیدا کوي. It has also an impacts on plants ولې په نباتات باندې بوټو باندې هم دا تاثیر لري. Particulate matters are teeny particles dispersed in the air causing air pollution. It includes both liquid and solid particles. The particulate matters موږ سره بل منبع د هوالودګي محیط په مورد باندې بحث پېښوي دا چې هغه یو ډېری وړوکي ذرات دي چې هغه ذرات بیا په هوا کې د هوا د الوګدګي سبب ګرځي چې دې کې هم مایع دي هم جامد. It is also known as aerosol. It is classified into two categories on the basis of size: particles of size less than 10 micrometers and particles of size less than 2.5 micrometers. So impact, it causes respiratory problem. معمولا دوی بل سنه فقط په دغه وخت کې تنفسي سیستم ته مشکل پیدا کیږي. Global impacts. So what are the global impacts of all these? Jahani tasirat which is air pollution and acid rains. Rainwater, which was considered to be the purest form of water available in the past, is now known to be contaminated by pollutants in the air. So in the presence of atmospheric moisture, gases such as sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxides resulting from industrial emissions turn into droplets of pure acid floating in smoke known as acid rain. همداسې تیزابي بارانونه دي چې باران کېږي دا چې پخوا مخکې یادېږي نه چې مثلا هوا ته څومره انتقالات صورت نیسي د خپله څومره انتقالات هوا ته ځي او هوا کثیفه کېږي انسان هغه بیا تنفس کوي نو دې په اساس باندې انسان ته بیا ډېر مشکلات سره مواجه کېږي. لکه مثلا یو د تیزابي باران دی چې په خپله دا د محیط څخه افراز کېږي ځي اټموسفیر یو ساحې ته او هلته بیا د یو باران په شکل کله چې د باران ساس کې ورسره یو ځای کېږي نو ککړې هوا سره راځي ځمکې ته په انسان باندې ولیږي او بالاخره دا مشکل ورته پیدا کېږي. Air pollution and ozone depletions is another things. The lower portion of the stratosphere, approximately from 20 to 30% kilometer above Earth's surface, contain high concentration of ozone. Several pollutants attacks on ozone layer. However, chlorofluorocarbons are known to be chief among them, and the chlorofluorocarbon molecules are broken due to intense ultraviolet radiation and release in the chlorine. These chlorine atoms react with ozone and break down into ordinary oxygen molecule. A single chlorine atom can destroy up to 10,000 ozone molecules in the atmosphere. Air pollution and global warming. Global warming is due to the air pollution. So the most dangerous effect of the air pollution is global warming. په خپل د هوا د ګرمېدلو یو یوازینی علت چې دا هغه په خپل نړیوال دنیا چې دا هغه خپل ګلوبل وارمنګ طرف ته تلل دي. What are the reason? Air pollution contains some special type of gases known as greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases trap sun's energies and produce an effect called greenhouse effect. And greenhouse gases effect is the cause of global warming. So this is all about the air pollution and their sources. دا موږ سره نن د آلودګي هوا چې کوم منابع دي د کوم په اساس چې هوا آلودګي او انسان ته د خطر پېښوي. So thank you very much for being with me and for being patient for being patient and happy. Wish you all the best. See you next time with the next lecture.